What's up, people? This is Through the Table, and Raw's premiere was on Netflix last night, and I'm here to talk about it. Now, it began with a recap of the last 30 years of Raw, the monumental moments, the memorable stuff of Monday Night Raw throughout the past 30 years. And man, was it cool to see. Even for the stuff I didn't live through, the stuff that I know through the internet, and just the stuff I know in general. Man, it was very, very, very cool video montage to see. And after they played that, the Tron kind of rised up from the ring, revealing Triple H in the middle of the ring, which never seen that before. And he cut a promo, pretty generic per se, basically just saying, "Hey, this is the Netflix era of Raw. Are you ready?" And kind of just went from there. I wasn't expecting anything more, anything less. I expected exactly that to open the show. Got me hyped though, more than an hour in. Which immediately the first thing I noticed is the ring mat changed, and it's got sponsors on it now. Doesn't bother me one bit. Completely understand it. It's a business. You need your money. You need your sponsors. Makes sense. Throughout the night, I didn't even notice it. It's the same thing with the Prime logo on the ring and by the announce table. You don't even notice it. It's kind of just part of the show at that point. And after Triple H, The Rock came out. He announced it beforehand on his Instagram the day before. He kind of came out and just said the same thing. "Oh, we're excited to be on Netflix. This is going to be great. It's going to bring new viewers. Yippee." But there was nothing really. I didn't really feel like that was The Rock. That was Dwayne Johnson talking. It was kind of odd. He pointed out Cody Rhodes in the crowd in the front row and basically just acted like they were all cool, which they seemed to be. Which is very odd to me because of the fact that you kind of whipped the guy with a belt, you insulted his family, you insulted his mother, you beat him up in the pouring rain, you had a whole program with him leading into the main event of WrestleMania. Just, you had a rivalry with the guy. That's so weird to me. He almost stole his spot for Mania last year. Now everything's just like, "Oh yeah, we're cool, no worries, buddy. Oh, I love you." I don't know, that promo was just weird. They marketed it as The Rock, but I feel like that wasn't The Rock. That was Dwayne coming out and talking. That was the head of TKO talking. Alright, so the actual opening match of the show was Solo and Roman. Which, hey, shout out Roman Reigns. Sick gauntlets, sick shoes. Loved those. That was great looking. Which he said afterwards too, he's going to donate them to a children's hospital afterwards or some kind of and they make money off of it. That's nice. That's a nice guy, right? Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa for the Ula Fala and being the tribal chief of the family. My only nitpick with this match was that they said on the SmackDown beforehand, Solo or Paul, I forget who exactly said it, they said, "Hey, this is going to be a one-on-one, no disqualification, and no disqualification involved, yes, but no interference from the other members of the family." Which there was. But I don't mind because the interference was actually really fun. I got aggravated at first because of the fact that Tama Tonga pulling out the ref from the ring and Reigns had the exact victory right there. And then he pulls him out, so screws him over. So Tonga, Jacob start beating up Roman, Jimmy and Sammy come out to help him out. And it just turns to a big old clusterfuck of madness, and I love it. And even adding more to the madness, Kevin Owens jumps in, hits a stunner on Reigns. Cody comes out, he chases off Kevin. Man, the interference is a little aggravating in theory, but it does the same thing that the Mania 40 match did between Roman and Cody, where it adds to it. And damn did that add to it. Was that a good match right there? Reigns hits the spear on Solo, reclaims the Ulafala, and all is right with the world. Until you see in the background Rocky walking down. He comes down to the ring, takes the Ulafala from Paul, and then places it on Roman. So what does that exactly mean? You're just placing on him to give him the honor of getting it? Or are you trying to set up something for later? Doesn't make sense to me, honestly. Kind of stare each other down. Just kind of shake hands and hug. And then... So what does this mean? Like, are we going to get the match eventually? Are we not going to? It's very confusing. Once again, Mania season, Rocky's trying to steal the spotlight. And the GOAT, John Cena, be coming out, hits the ring, and kind of gives like a, hey, I don't really think I deserve a 17th world title. I haven't won in 2,000 something days. What's relevant. But also, even as Samantha Irvin said, that man's the goddamn GOAT. He deserves anything he wants. He deserves that 17th World Championship. And even he was saying that there's ways of getting to it, though. Money in the Bank, Elimination Chamber, possible Royal Rumble victory. Which I'll tell you right now, he's my pick to win the Rumble. The crowd was chanting along with him, saying, thank you, Cena. You deserve it. I was chanting along with, honestly, in the living room. Man, I cannot wait. Cannot wait for that man's retirement tour. He was my damn childhood hero. I have always loved him. I always will love him. He's a great guy, and he was one of the first few people I ever really looked up to in my life. Love that man. Always have. Always will. So the New Day made a couple appearances in the show, and the crowd was booing them once again, just like always, because they deserve to be booed. They challenged Rey Mysterio last week to a tag team match, and it was supposed to happen on the premiere episode of Raw, but it just didn't happen. I don't know what reason. I would assume time restraints, but I don't know exactly. And although we did get a tease of Penta confirming it by his name, spelled it out in that same mask logo and the same face. And later on, Chad Gable said to Adam Pearce, saying that he wants the best luchador next week. Penta's the best luchador. That man is amazing. He is one skilled boy. You want the best? You got the best. Alright, the championship match everyone's been waiting for. Rhea, Liv, and the last woman oh wait, it's not a last woman standing match? Oh yeah, it was advertised as that, but it turned out to be a one-on-one. There was no explanation behind that at all. It was just, oh yeah, it's just a regular match right now. Okay. Wish we would have gotten a reason why, because I was looking forward to Last Woman Standing. But probably also time restraints. But that's okay. But it was a very, very, very good match. Non-stop action to it. Interference. Being overbooked as hell. These girls hitting each other hard as hell. Man, freaking Rhea took an Oblivion into a chair. Liv took a Riptide. 2 of them in a row. Rhea got the victory from that. And new women's world champion, Rhea Ripley. I'm so glad she won. I love Rhea Ripley. I love Liv Morgan. She's doing great. But Rhea, love her just a little bit more. She is fantastic. I've loved her forever. I really hope that's it. I really hope that's the end of this rivalry, because it's been dragged on and on and on since what, March of last year, something like that, around there. Oh my god, it just keeps on going and going and going. It's like, okay, we get it. You've done really all you can do at this point. Let's please cut this off from here on. So as Rhea went up the stage, you just think that she's just walking out, right? Looking back at the crowd. Nope, you hit that gong. Undertaker comes out. I love The Undertaker. He is my second all-time favorite. He comes riding out on his motorcycle, just does a lap around the ring, and then just rides next to Rhea, and just sits there, and they just throw the fist up together. Was it pointless? Yeah. Did it add anything to anything? No, not really. But was it a cool visual? Absolutely it was, because I love those two, and I did not know I needed that combo of those two together. And then Hulk Hogan comes out, which was weird. I got kind of excited hearing his music, and I don't like Hulk Hogan, honestly. He just kind of said the same thing Triple H and Rock did, where it's like, oh yeah, it's great to be here, brother. Raw's on Netflix, dude. And that's about it. Nothing more, nothing less, honestly. He got booed out of the building, and then promotes his own beer, and then gets booed out of the building again. That could have not been there at all. Would have changed nothing. Yeah, no, I will gladly skip that. Alright, so Jey Uso against Drew McIntyre was next. Jey came out through the crowd with Travis Scott by his side. Travis Scott was blatantly smoking a blunt on TV. I didn't even know you could do that on live TV. That man's either breaking rules or setting them now. And damn, I really wish Travis Scott would have had more of an important role in this show, because I really like his music. I wish he would have performed or had some kind of backstage thing with someone, something like that. I wish he was involved in some kind of way. That's really my only real big criticism of this show. The match itself, Drew and Jey, fine. It was a generic Raw match, honestly. Really not much to it. I'll imagine Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre on Raw. That's exactly what you got. And then there was a couple cool spots in between of a few super kicks, a Claymore out of nowhere from Drew, which I kind of popped out. I was like, oh shit, that came out of nowhere. And it was practically a nothing match. The ending was very weird too, because Drew was counting down to a Claymore. He hit one already on Jey at that point. Jey's on his knees. He's counting down to a Claymore, runs up to do it. Jey catches him, roll up pin, 1, 2, 3, Jey wins. Well, that came out of nowhere. That was very underwhelming. I love both the guys, but that was... No, that ain't it. And now, for the main event. My two favorites. I love these guys, but I love one just a little bit more. CM Punk, Seth Rollins. Man, the animosity between these two is just unmatched. These two just start off immediately just throwing haymakers at each other. They brawled out of the ring, went into the crowd. The ref was blatantly ignoring the count-out rule, but it's okay. In that case, it's okay. For a specific type of circumstance, ignore the rules. Man, what a banger of a match, though. I mean, some of the highlights were Punk hitting a curb stomp on Rollins. Rollins hitting Punk with his move, the GTS. And it came down to a point where there was a great match in between, and the finish came down to Punk hitting a GTS on Rollins. Not once, but twice. Again. And covers him, wins. And hey, that was a banger of a match. If we don't get it again, I am perfectly okay with it. But if we get another one, I am perfectly okay with it also. These two can put on bangers after bangers. Man, they are great together. Alright, and that's it for me. If I had to give this show a grade, it would probably be a B+. It was a great show overall. Very, very, very fun. Probably a great introduction for new fans, and a great reintroduction for older fans, and just a great overall show that continues ongoing storylines for us current fans. So, that's it for me. Like, comment, subscribe, and see you next time.